We are
Nastasia Filippo,
Lorenzo Alberti,
Francesco Ricci,
Martin Balaban, and this is
Kunst and all.
With us today is Joe Longomo, a hip-hop dancer, teacher, and creator whose work blends groove, emotional depth, and cultural authenticity. Known for his powerful presence and his ability to connect movement with meaning, he has developed a unique approach that helps dancers unlock both their technique and their inner voice. He's the co-founder of ITEP, translating to Here Everything is Possible, a training program designed to help dancers reach their full potential through foundations, musicality, mindset, and real human connection. Joe is also the creator of Behind the Character, a project that explores the emotional layers behind choreography through guided exercises and film performances. In 2024, he launched Groove with Joe Longomo, an experience dedicated to bringing dancers back to the essence of hip-hop, the groove. Through workshops, drills, and musical exploration, the concept helps dancers reconnect with rhythm, pocket, and the natural flow of the body. The goal is simple: to teach dancers how to feel before they try to impress. Joe now travels internationally to teach, share, and inspire. His mission remains constant: to honor the roots of hip-hop while helping dancers discover who they truly are through movement.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Kunst and all. Today with us, we have Joe Longomo, and you can find him on Instagram on his page that is called Groove with Joe Longomo. And he's here with us. We're very happy to have him. And also with us is Lorenzo and
Hi,
Tati.
everyone.
Hello.
So
Hi.
basically, we found Joe Longomo on Instagram because of his page, because he has this very beautiful, inspirational post, and I will let him speak so he can introduce himself in a second. But I just wanted to say that although he comes from different background, we found that his posts were resonating so much also with our world, in a ballet world, and because it is about the dance culture and it's about the dynamics that they're creating at the end, in it. Then please introduce yourself to our listeners. Tell us a bit about yourself, how you came up to this page on
Okay.
Instagram.
So
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I'm Joe Longomo. I'm a French hip hop dancer, French artist. I'm living in Paris, but I'm from Strasbourg, a city near Germany. I started hip hop there, and 1 year after I came to Paris. So all the knowledge and everything, the wanting to travel came from the knowledge that I had in Paris, here in Paris. So yeah, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. I had my firstborn just a year ago. I'm a dancer. I'm a teacher. I'm a choreographer. I love to get new knowledge. I love to meet other people. I love to be inspired by other people. I'm very very curious guy. And yeah, I love music. I did piano for 5 years, so I'm always with music and yeah. Why I created this page is for the beginning of it was just for hip hop dancer. The name of the page is Groove with John Ngomo. I wanted to talk about groove because my thought was groove is lacking in hip hop culture. We're lacking of groove. We're more on the performance and finding new tricks, but the feeling of the music and everything left. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. And that was the first thing. And I remember the first post that I did was a dancer who doesn't like to party. We never understand the importance of groove. That was my first that I put this some days ago in the page, but in my personal Instagram, I put this. That was the first one. And I had a lot of like, good things like, thank you, finally someone talk about it. And different comment like, who are you to talk about it? You're nothing. And no, I was like, whoa, I just expressed my thoughts. And, that was crazy because I didn't knew that it will go that fast. And so the thing was, I was always talking about groove and everything. And I remember one day, because I'm a teacher, I was like, yeah, teacher, you need to be careful on what you're teaching.
Yes. I love that quote.
So
I
I
love
was
that
like,
quote.
and that wasn't for the hip hop dancer anymore. That was for everybody. But for me, I didn't know that it was for everybody. I was always talking about the hip hop dancer.
Yeah.
So
All right. All right.
a lot
Yeah.
of
But of course. Yeah.
people from other dances, kizomba, bachata, even pole dancer. I was like, pole dancer, our words are so different.
Yeah.
So a lot.
If we think about it, I mean, a teacher is anyone
Yes.
who is a teacher, really. So it could be really for anything. And it is true. I do agree. That's why I loved that post. It is true that you just don't share your knowledge. You also share how you share your knowledge, the way you have a class, the way you talk to people, the way it's so many things, in between. That's why I loved
Thank
the
you.
post. It was so
And
good.
yeah, and that was a lot of when I post this one, a lot of thought came on my mind. Like, yeah, we need to talk about it. It was from my past experience or for things that I heard. Like bullying in the dance scene,
Yeah.
emotional manipulation.
It's so incredible because actually it started with Francesco sending us some of your posts, and I found out later that you were in the hip hop field, let's say. Because for me, I thought you were a ballet dancer for a moment because I was like, this is exactly what we struggle with. I was like, oh, maybe this is a dancer that's in a ballet company or freelance scene and struggling with this and talking about this subject that are so relevant. Like you really nailed all of them. Like all of them. I felt seen and I felt like, oh my God, yes, I felt this
Yeah.
way every now and then in my career. So I was like, and finding out after, I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. Like, let's interview him because it's so, I think we see the same struggle from different
Yes.
perspective, obviously, because we come from different dancing backgrounds, but it's so like inspiring also to like know how we can connect within each other and know how we adapt or like see these kind of things also like these topics. So I'm very curious about where this conversation is gonna go. I'm very interested and curious. I'm looking forward.
To be honest, I feel like your posts were circling a lot around the ballet world. Like we found them a
That's
lot in
crazy.
people's stories. So
Crazy.
we were almost convinced. Yeah. Also, like for me, it surprises me. Coming from like a hip hop background, I wouldn't think that you would find these things because I feel that there's a much more communal feeling. Like when I think of hip hop dance, and maybe that's just my ignorance in the the world of hip hop. So it really surprises me, and I'm curious to see how many things we can
Yes,
find that
yes,
we can relate
yes.
to, like with
I
other
think you,
styles of
you, you,
dance.
you I think no, you're not ignorant because we have these family things in hip hop. And that's the paradox in hip hop culture that because we have these family things, but in the same time, you have those really bad things, and sometimes those bad things are in the family. So that's crazy. It's really tricky. I don't know how is it in ballet, but in hip hop, those bad things came in the family that you build with people, and this is inside. So we have a lot of broken people in hip hop dance just because of this, and a lot of hip hop dancers that I knew because I had we create with a friend of mine a school for hip hop dancer. This school is more in the mental side because I met a lot of really great dancers. I had one in my mind. She did hip hop, ballet, jazz. She had everything that a dancer wish. But when we asked her to dance, she was like, I can't. Because so much things in her mind came, so much trauma. So
Trauma.
yeah, in hip hop, if you talk if you have a deep conversation with a hip hop dancer, you're gonna see that something is broken.
Is it also very
It's very, very
competitive, would you
competitive.
say?
And in the moments when someone gets the light, it's now you're gonna see is if the family is real.
Right.
It's like in ballet, exactly the same.
Yeah, it's like
Totally.
in ballet is the same. That's why for me it's fascinating that the dynamics are exactly the same. Even though, it might seem a bit more open and maybe because a bit more we think, compared to ballet, a bit more easygoing, the hip hop culture, and there is more. But no, we see the dynamics are exactly the same, but because I think people are the same, meaning what you said, it's like the way we behave with certain things is exactly the same no matter the circumstances, no? We have some dynamics when it comes to competition, when it comes to collaboration, when it comes to working together and having to do with our own struggles, judgment and all this kind of stuff. But let's start to dig some,
Yes.
like, for example,
Yes.
for me, what was like, apart from the be careful what you teach teacher, what is also great is, like you said in a post, great teaching isn't about impressing, it's about guiding. And I like this as well, because sometimes this, for example, I'm talking from our environment, let's say our field in the ballet thing. Many people think that just because you've been a great dancer, and some dancers, when they teach, they think to impress, so they show very beautifully, but then at the end don't communicate anything for me, and they don't have necessarily the skill then to help grow the people that they have in power, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, yeah, I can see you great, I can see you're a beautiful dancer, I can see you have it all, and I can just admire you as much as I can. But then what else can you give me, like, if I want to try to grow, from 0 to 10? How do you nourish
But
that?
me, the crazy thing about this is I did 2 years of learning pedagogical things in hip hop. At the end of the 2 years, we have evaluation and stuff, and we had some grades, and the best grade was a lady who wasn't the best hip hop dancer. I think, to be respectful, she was one of the worst, but she had so many things to teach in so many ways. Even me, I was like, whoa. I was learning from her. So
Yeah,
being a great dancer doesn't mean anything when it's about teaching. You have to get the knowledge.
I agree.
You have to get the knowledge, even especially in hip hop. You have to get the knowledge of the music, because in hip hop we have so many different music from so many different eras, from so many different producer, for so many different things. So
Right.
you have to get this first, and then, because I learned that hip hop is not about a movement, it's about mood and feeling.
Can I jump in with this? Because I was looking at that interview about Sylvie Guillem. There was this incredible French ballerina. It was the interview was done from the artistic director of Australian Ballet, David Hallberg, and her. They were talking, and she said, "Oh, it's fascinating how in rehearsal you don't teach technique." She was like, "But
Yes,
this,
yes.
we're talking about professionals, right?" And she's saying they're supposed to know that. Like, they're supposed to know when they fall out from a turn and stuff. What I'm here for is to make sure that what they're saying through movement makes sense dramaturgically, that the feeling is there, and this. And I found that so incredible and so true. And this is why sometimes throughout my career, I really could differentiate people that understood that they retired and they're ready to let go and project what they've learned, and people that had a frustrated career and they eventually wanted to be on your spot doing the role you are learning instead of being there to make you look the best. So it's really like, now with my 10 years of professional experience, I'm like, oh, I really see it right away. I'm like, some people teach for their own ego and some people teach to make you improve. So it's crazy again how in ballet and hip hop we have this connection of you teach feeding, you teach music, you need to have a 360-degree understanding of what you want to say also, and where
Yes.
is it coming from. So again, a lot in common. Is
That's
really
crazy. That's crazy.
fascinating.
There's also that thing, I also have a pedagogical degree, let's say, and I've always been very curious about if presence, because you spoke in one of your posts about presence, that it isn't just felt, but it can be trained. I wanted to ask you, like, how I've been maybe a bit too
Yeah.
scared to like dive into that, because there's this thing that do you have it naturally, or can it actually be trained?
For me, in my experience, because my background is from Congo, and Congolese, African, when they talk about Congo, used to be people who love to dance and sing. So, and we have this way of being. When we dance, is not, we can see that someone is dancing. this is from inside, and even they know this is from inside, and they show it. It's not like we show off. It's more like my background. My dad and my mom used to dance this way. My auntie, uncle used to dance this way. So even the way they were walking, I was fascinating about it. So I took it without noticing it. So when I came
Yeah.
to the hip hop scene, the first thing when it was about dancing, the first thing was coming. There was this, even though my technique wasn't that good, and just walking, watching people, and lifting my hand, and people was like, "Oh," directly. But
Yeah.
I really wish our listeners could see that right now.
Like grooving.
Yeah, so good.
and how can we teach this? I used to be in a crew in Paris, and we all love Usher. The way he was dancing, the
Yeah.
way he was dancing behind the woman, just to chase her. So for hour of 2 hour or 2 hours, we were just working on it. Music, we put the music and just we walk. Just this. And you have to watch in front of you, you have to let go. That was the training. So in the school that we have now, working on presence is the best thing that I can say, even though it's difficult sometimes to get it, is just be you. When you walk,
Yeah.
you hear the music,
Right.
don't try to add things. Don't add. When we seeing you walking, without talking, and we can see your history, where you came from. So
Mm.
that was it was the that it was it is our exercise. But when we did this in the first one, we can see that it's really very very difficult.
It's very difficult because I think depends also
Mm-hmm.
maybe your background or if any previous training. For example, like I feel that in ballet there is this thing that we care a lot
Yes.
about how we look, and you say this that real dance starts when you actually let
Mm-hmm.
go of how it looks, and I think it's just about focusing. I don't know. I'm starting to connect now that presence is just about being present with
Yeah,
yourself,
and
right?
even we don't say that being presence, you don't have to show your flaws. Show it. Show us your flaw. It's not just
Right.
be in a good way. No, just be you. Being you is good and bad.
Right.
I mean, also I think the flaws is what eventually makes you unique. So
Exactly. I mean, what
absolutely.
makes you you?
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're
you're a
like the
robot.
other people.
We don't like robot in dance.
No,
No.
no.
How do you balance those freedom that we just spoke about it with control when you dance?
I will say one thing to explain. I was with my wife in New York, and it was a party
Okay.
in a rooftop, and we were dancing. And my woman was beside me, and I was dancing. And for a moment, a feeling came, like a huge one, like wow, I'm on it. And this feeling, it, it, it was a long time that it didn't came. It didn't come. So when it came,
Mm.
I stopped it, and I said, why is it coming? And I said, okay, the music is good, the vibe is good. I'm in New York, the rooftop with my with the love of my life. So I was like, everything is connected. But
Mm.
if I just go with this, I will not dance like this. I will be like, ah, ah. So I have to, I have to be aware of my environment. I have to be aware. I know that I always say this: when you're dancing, the heart will have to be here, and the mind has to be here. You have to value the heart more, but the mind has to be here. And this is the balance of.
Meaning a little under. Sorry, I'm just because
Yeah, yeah.
maybe for
Sorry.
the people who cannot see us. No, meaning like the mind has
Yeah,
to be
little
a
under.
little under, meaning that has to be
Yes,
more in
and that's
control.
why I find the balance of let go and control, because when and it's hard because when the feeling is coming to you, you want to jump,
Yeah, you wanna
but
give it all.
sometimes yeah, it can be.
It can be chaotic.
It was for me sometimes. I was dancing
Yeah.
and boom, I banged my head in the wall, and because I didn't see where I was. So when the feeling, the deep one is coming, your mind has to say, hey, 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 hey. Okay, you're going deep in the feeling. but be careful.
It reminds me also when I was like, when I look, for example, at my videos from when I started dancing or professionally, even, and I had maybe a solo and stuff, I was using way too much energy. Like now I
Mm,
would never dance it this way. I'm like, I was like just putting a lot of energy in every step because I thought I was going to be more seen and more valued. And it was not about that. It's just about making the up and down. Cause like you also understanding, I think also with obviously experience and understanding of what you're doing, that you need to pace each movement in a very different way. So if you have a big movement that you want to highlight, you need to make sure like there is a
mm,
progression to then get to that point. If you dance like super high energy all the time, it just
yes.
becomes like a lot of chaos for the audience. Because I also think it's like when you talk, you
Mm-hmm.
make a speech to an audience, you make sure you really put air between the words and like you're talking. If you like start to talk super fast and like you don't really say the words clear, the audience won't get it as much or as deep
Mm-hmm.
as they would if you talk slowly. And I
Yes.
feel with dancing is the same. But I think as young people, we're so into it. I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like I'm so happy. I'm going to show in my energy. Sometimes
Mm,
then it throws off the whole performance in the end. Yeah.
It's a very fine line, actually, because we've recently had a process with a choreographer called Akram Khan in Semper, and it was like, don't throw everything away. Then you're
mm-hmm.
giving everything away. And actually, I think the slight control of all that excitement or power that you
Mm-hmm.
want to give away is what keeps it also like mysterious, because at the end of the
Yes,
day, we're
yes.
also performers. We can dance in our kitchen, we can do whatever, but it's also about how it's translating to our audience or the people that we're
Mm,
sharing that moment with dancing. So it's a very fine line. There's also the other aspect though, that you can tend to like
yeah.
control everything too much
Mm,
and not
mm,
letting
mm.
go,
That's why for you have
right?
to find the right balance. And I love to see when it's about for different subject. I love to I love to go to I love to give example to the other dancers. For example, a dancer who's doing tango. You can see that the feeling is big when they're dancing. You can see that
Mm,
when the feeling is really really huge, but you can see the control, the way
yes.
they hit the floor with the feet is always on point. Everything is on point. And I will add a sentence from a hip-hop dancer. His name is Nickel. He said, why do I have to yell when I can whisper and be understood?
Beautiful.
you know
Love
Wow.
that.
so
Yeah.
when he wrote this, I was like, whoa, that's so true. This is so true, and the sentence less is more. When I saw this sentence, and then I'll say, yeah, less is more. This is something really deep, because with a movement and a good
Yeah.
intention, and movement and good intention, you can say so many things against someone who's doing a lot of things.
Yeah. Tension, I think, is the word also. It kept crossing my mind while
Mm,
the whole time you were speaking, all of you. I kept having like, it's the intention, it's the intention, it's the intention. Because it really is, like you said before, the example of the tango dancers. I think they know exactly where they want to go, they know exactly what they want to feel. And like you said, but they know also exactly
mm,
how to execute it. Like they know that they cannot throw it away, otherwise they will kill each other. Also because dancing in couples can be
mm,
very also dangerous. But they know both of them have a very good intention of what they're trying to portray, to the audience or to whoever is watching. Also because it's more
yes,
enjoyable, I
of
think,
course,
dancing
of
like
course.
this. Because then you really turn on those feelings, those emotions of passion or whatever it is, but I think it's much more fun.
It's like a dance between these two things. Like
Yeah.
this
Mm,
tension is like a little
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dance and, letting go of
Mm,
one. And I like
yes,
that
yes,
play
yes.
between the
That's a
two.
good
Yeah.
one.
I would like to talk a bit about a very important, and finally people are talking about it more. That is
Oh,
burnout in dance.
man.
It's a really important topic. Like you also said in one of your posts, how it's really important actually sometimes to
Mm,
take a break from dance to understand and to see more. So I would like you to talk a bit more about this.
the first guy who talked about burnout in dance was a guy that I know from a long time. He's from Belgium, and he was talking, and the thing is, he won a lot of competition. And at that moment, it was the burnout time. So we were like, yeah, you're good, you're good, you're good. But his face was so straight. So without feeling, he was dancing. And we all thought that it was a trend to dance like this. So many people was dancing with straight head, straight faces. But this guy was in burnout. And we all had this kind of moments, not that long, I think, but a moment or everything seems so painful, or it can be painful, or just I don't have feeling anymore. I don't like it. I don't feel it. I don't want it. And the fact that sometimes you have to take a break is because your brain is still working and it's still digesting what you learn. You know,
Yes.
me, it was a friend of mine who said, I was like, yeah, I don't like it. I don't feel it. He said, just take a break for 2 weeks. Don't watch dance, even listen to other music. Let digest and let your brain work.
Absolutely. I had in my career, I had the moment. I really reflect with this post that you said because during COVID, so I
Mm,
started working right away. So when I was 13, I left home, my hometown Rome, and I went to Milan to La Scala, and after that I went to Germany, and then after that at 18 I got my first job. Like it was really
mm,
like I never stopped,
mm,
and dance it's all I knew. Like I never went to a like 18 birthday party that in Italy is such a thing, like to attend these kind of things. I never went to nothing too that I would say in
mhm,
brackets a normal guy would do, right? So when just before COVID, I give away my life contract that I had in Poland, and because I wanted to start freelancer, I was like, I
mhm,
want to know what's around. But then 2 months in, COVID hit, and with COVID, I decided I'm not going to pretend to hold a chair or the heaters of my house and do a ballet bar or a training. I want to do things, and I was in Rome, I want to do things that normal people do. So I went and I signed up
mm,
to work in a restaurant. So I was a waiter to connect with people. And then they're like, because in Italy, it was not like in Germany, for example, restaurant was open with distance and stuff, but you could work. So I really got to know people and talking to them. And like, there are a lot of culture, actually, especially American ones, that I would stay there and have conversation at their table. Like it was so beautiful. And then I allow myself to know myself without dance and kind of fall
mhm,
out of love with dance to understand also if I want to get back into it. And what did I have? I could digest and understand, do I have
mhm,
something I can bring to this world? Because also I was understanding if I was done with working for institutions or not, because working with institutions is really easy to fall into this game of people
mhm,
pleasing. I need to please my director, I need to please the choreographer that's there. And I was like, am I dancing for this? I didn't fall in love to dancing
yes,
because I had to please anyone. I felt in love because I felt at my best and I felt full inside and I felt alive, really alive. So with that, when you wrote that post of like do something else, go see something else, like allow yourself to understand if you really
yes,
want to be doing this. Because obviously, I knew that to enter then eventually, and again, a ballet company, there were compromises and things that eventually I don't necessarily agree on. But hey, those are
mhm,
the rules, so I need to adapt. But to allow yourself, and some people are like, oh, but so like I can't stop and then start again. I'm like, yes, like I stopped dancing for 2 full years of COVID basically, and then I got a job right away after and I was working on it. Like the body doesn't forget. Obviously, I was anyway
mhm,
disciplined also when I was not dancing, but my body was ready to then start again and my mind was ready. So if my
yes,
mind was ready,
of
my
course,
body
of
followed
course.
right away. So I really resonate with this post that you said. So even to all our listeners, because I had a lot of conversation with ballet dancers be like, oh my God, like I feel like I need a break. But then do you think I can get back into it?
Mm,
I'm like, absolutely, yes. Actually, you're way more receptive maybe later because you've digested everything you learned
of
within
course.
years.
It's also about doing it
Mhm,
without the guilt, because I think this is really hard to, yeah, okay, I need a break. People told me I need a break, I need to take a break. But I think a lot of the time with burnout, yes, it could be physical, but it is
mental.
more the mental aspect of maybe like anxiety or the fear. And I think that's what's the
Ah, yeah, yeah.
main culprit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I I also want to dig, like, since we're talking about the burnout, I want to dig into sometimes the causes, that cause this. For example, one of them, it's also, I took it from your post, Joe. One is like perfectionism disguised
Mm,
as discipline, which I think is a very important topic. And then sometimes where was it? Sometimes there is the emotional manipulation we have in dance. Sometimes it's the bullying in the dance scene. Slowly, like, I want to uncover like, what sometimes brings you to
Mhm.
the burnout, with those things, because you talked about it in your post. So let's start unfolding a little bit, although those parts, what sometimes happens.
That was my personal experience because you used to be trained by a famous dancer. We were like so much. We tried to be so much like him in his way to see dance, and we took
Mm.
like um. No, that's the way we have to do it. I think for me, he wasn't the talented guy. He was the working guy. He worked everything that he is doing. He worked his dance like crazy. But
Yeah.
for example, me, I know that the grooving stuff, that was my talent. So I had to train with someone who's grooving and show me how to go further. But this guy was that he was so much like, yeah, you have to work on it, this, and you have to be perfect on it. You have you have to be a master on it. And we were like, okay, that's discipline. That's our way to do it. And it connected with be careful on what you're teaching, because a teacher
Mhm.
have to see a student and have to see the difference. When I'm giving you to you, Francesco, is not gonna be the same to you, Martin, because you're different. So when I wrote this, that was my personal experience. Like, we all thought that it was discipline, and for real, a lot of people in my age, year after, we saw the trauma of it, you know.
Yeah.
And then you talk about bullying in a dancing.
Yes,
Mm,
but wait, before we move to the bullying, for me, in my experience, it is also been that, as you said, like you have sometimes some teachers that they are so in their own way of teaching things, and they don't
mhm,
accept any freedom of you doing things differently, or like following a little bit more your feelings and your way maybe of approaching dance or approaching, and they see this you're not following
mhm,
exactly what they're telling you to do as a
mhm,
lack
mhm,
of discipline. I had this in my career that for me was so frustrating, because it was just like, I feel I am very disciplined. I just want to
mhm,
do things my own way.
mhm,
Am I allowed to discover the joy of dance through my own experience, through my own life, through my own eyes and body? Or do I have to follow exactly what you say? And this will bring
yes.
us to the ego, to the teachers, but
Mhm.
okay, we will do it later. We put it aside for now, yeah? But okay, so that was my experience with it. That's why also I liked that post. But yeah, let's talk also about the bullying, because this is also something that I lived a lot, especially in the school years. I've heard a lot of ugly and mean comments made by friends of mine and towards friends and colleagues about the body, about the way they were dancing, about a lot of stuff.
Just before going to bullying, story came to in my mind when I was in a pedagogical
Mhm.
school. One of the teacher, his name is Faiz, a really great dancer teacher, and at that moment, even my respect of him get bigger, went bigger, and I didn't know that some people like him can be like this. Every Thursday, he was like, "Joe, let's go training, me and you." So we were training, like, sometimes in hip hop, we going in for an hour or an hour off or 2 hours. And after the thing that I love with him, he was giving me feedback. And one day he was like,
Mm,
Joe, you need to do this and that and this and that, you need to go there. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not you. And the thing, he stopped
mm,
and he said, yeah, you're right, you're not me. And he said, sometimes with the emotion, we want the guide so much. We want the guide when the emotion's coming. You want to take the student and throw the student in your own way, but sometimes it's not the good way. When I
yes.
say this, it can be normal to a guy to say those kind of stuff, but I never been used to do it. A lot of teacher was like, follow me, follow me, follow me. And this guy said, are you right? We're not the same. We are not the same story. So yeah. And for the
Yeah.
bullying is really, it was really common in the hip hop scene because we do competition, we do battles, and things like this. And when you came, when you're coming with a different way of dancing, and people say that's different. Sometimes they're mocking you because this is not the
Mm,
same way we moving. They're mocking you.
yes.
Um, Even though the because in the battle we have pre-selection and then you go in the battle. Even though in the pre-selection they're not watching you, they're like, yeah, yeah, okay, and it can be like this. It can be like you say, comment on Instagram or Facebook. It can be a story on Instagram. I'm not mentioning you, but everybody knows it's you. Yeah, a lot of guy stop dance, especially boys stop dance because of it.
Imagine, yeah. This brings me also to the topic, and this will be last one by me, and then I will let the other two speak. The unspoken rivalries. You say rivalry can push you or poison you. It depends on whether it is driven by
Hmm.
inspiration or insecurity. I loved that as well because it's true. Sometimes I always have this conversation with them, with Nastasia and Lorenzo, but also with other my colleagues. Always, if competition, sometimes like in ballet, I don't know, but probably in hip hop too, there are so many
Hmm.
competitions. And me personally, I always been kind of against these competitions because for me it's always I always
Hmm.
saw it in a negative way. But your post made me realize that sometimes there could be, because also some people say like it doesn't
Hmm.
exist good competition is just like
Hmm.
one against another. But that's why the way you phrased it, I thought it was so well done, because you said like if it is driven by inspiration, then that's what it is
Hmm.
defined as good competition. Like, of course, if it is by insecurities, if I'm an insecure person and I have to go to competition and things like this is
Yes,
when it becomes negative.
it's really common in the crew because in the crew we are a lot of people. Just imagine I'm in with Nastasia in the same crew, and Nastasia, she's the one. When we go in battle, everybody says, "Yeah, Nastasia, she's so good. She's really, really, really good." And
Yeah, hip hop. We also have a we also have
and
Anastasia here.
and the thing is, sometimes in those rivalries, is I start hip hop in the same time that Nastasia, or even worse, Nastasia came after me. And you have to when you I said competition can be a good way is and by inspiration is it means like you have to break your ego. Sometimes just ask Nastasia,
Mm,
hey, how can I do this in the right way? Can you show me? Because you're doing better than me. Those things. And
yeah.
I had a bit this with one of my friends when we dancing together. He showed me a movement and he showed me the variation, and I'm like, oh, you think you're good? Bet I go and I show him another variation, and he show me, and we always like this. And at the moment, he's like, okay, today you were better, but we laugh about it. Like, yeah, you good, you good. You
Yeah.
know. And when I was also when I post this, it was also when someone gets the likes, and we more put you on the side, and you're watching your guy like, okay,
Yes.
we used to be friends, now it's gonna be me against you. And you don't say it.
Yeah.
You don't say it. You don't like, yeah, it's gonna be you against me. No. But in your mind, or your the guy you have to kill is him. And it can be really, really toxic in the crew. Like really toxic. Because this guy can
Yes. Yes. Yes.
come to you and say, hey, you need to work on it, and you get mad because he said this. Even though it's true. So it can be good, like you say. It can be good competition or bad. But those things is things that I experienced because I was in a crew, and I was the guy who I used to be the guy who put on the side, who used to be on the side, and I was like, okay, so it's gonna be me against them. And then I changed. I used to be that guy who, oh, you good, you do this better than me. Show me. I have to see, you know.
Which is much nicer also. I discovered, because me too, I was driven by a lot of ego when I was younger. And so there was that kind of thing that I was jealous or I was envious of, my colleagues or who was getting the parts and the roles. And but then the moment when I accepted myself first of all, and then I decided to break that, breaking the ego, and say like, oh, can you show me how you do this? I love how you do this. Like, please, like, help me. I believe that
Mm,
I don't know how to do this well.
It
So
takes
it takes time.
yeah,
time and
yeah, yeah.
humility. You need to accept that the competition is there. You can't deny that it's like this rainbow land where
Mm,
competition doesn't exist. It's
No,
also in our
no.
nature
Exactly.
to feel that competition. It's part
yes.
of our survival, but it takes a lot of strength. I remember like once I was trying some turns with a partner, and yeah, they weren't working great. And then he changed partner. He tried with this other girl and it worked perfectly. And I felt this moment inside like, shit, I feel bad. Like, I feel like she's better than me. Obviously, that's why she's doing so great. But I had to pick up my strength and go, what did you do when
Mm,
it worked so well? Or
Yeah.
else I would carry that with me the whole day of like, I'm bad. I'm not good enough. I don't,
mm-hmm,
I shouldn't be doing this. And yeah, it brings out another negative aspect to your workplace.
I also feel though like it's the person you're asking the advice from is also up to her or him or them to say with humility and be like
mm,
in a sharing way
That's true.
rather than like
yes.
making you feel bad. Because then at that point, I'm just gonna stay distant and observe because I'm not asking an advice to make my insecurities even bigger. I'm asking you because I see it. And if you're willing to share, let's have a conversation. But if you're here to
Mm,
judge me, I'll stay away. I'll learn it in a way or in the other. So it's also up to the other person, the person I'm asking for the advice,
mm-hmm,
to be there to share rather
yes.
than judge,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I
You're
feel.
right.
Good point.
Yes, yes.
I would like to also attach into this topic, like again, you're talking on your post about the ego trap. So many dancers
Mm-hmm,
confuse like confidence
mm-hmm.
with arrogance. Can you
Yeah.
like share a bit more also
In
about that?
I don't know how is it in Germany, but in France, when you come and you say I can do it, we said you arrogant. You know, if now you're asking me, Joe, can you do a show with five dancers that you don't know? I would say yeah, I can do it. They will say yeah, you arrogant. We even in hip hop way, because it's not because it's hip hop, it's different. It can be different in so many ways, but we still in France. We still with French dancer. When you say I'm a good dancer. People will look at you like who you think you are. Knowing your value is really important as a dancer, even as a human. Sometimes when people are around with someone who said, "I'm good at this," it shows that their trauma. When you like, yeah, you arrogant, you arrogant, you arrogant. This just the trauma that they had. This post, I put it in the dance side, but actually it was for in my favorite football player whose name Thierry Henry. I'm a big fan of Thierry Henry. So he said all the time the French journalist used to say that I'm arrogant, and he said no. If I if they ask me go take the ball and go score the goal, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, and I will say proudly, yeah, I can do it. But if you ask me to defend, no, I can't. I'm crazy to say that I can. You know, it's just to know that things that you can do and things that you cannot do. That's it. Your strength and
Yeah, your
even and
strengths. Yeah.
you know that's it. And some people don't grow up. Don't some dancer don't grow up in their dance sometimes just because of it. They put themselves
Mm.
down. Like, can you do it? Maybe, but inside of this guy, he knows that he can do it. You know.
I thought that the post was actually kind of like on the other side of the medal, meaning that sometimes arrogant people have been seen as being very confident. So people exchange sometimes the being confident with the arrogance.
Mm,
That's how I read the post. So meaning that sometimes there are, for example, certain dancers in our case that they are very arrogant in the way they work with people, in the way they act, in the way they do. But some directors, some choreographers see this as like, oh, they're very confident. They know very well what they can do. Well, But it's a little bit what you said, because for me, being confident mean its meanings, knowing your strength and your faults. For me, but being confident is like I'm confident because I know what I'm good at, but I also know what I don't know what to do and I am not good at, and I prefer to not do it. And it's fair and it's good. For me, arrogant is when they think they know it all and when they think they're above everyone. And sometimes those two things are a bit mixed up by some people. It's a bit problematic.
You're definitely right. Of course, in hip hop, we have people when we talk with them, they think that they created hip hop. Actually,
Mm.
arrogant people in hip hop, they don't live enough longer. No,
Metaphorical
yeah.
way,
No,
you mean,
no.
no?
Yeah,
It can't,
yeah.
it can't
No,
Sorry,
last
guys.
just
So
to
yeah,
just to be
for
yeah.
our
So
ballet community.
we don't kill them. Sorry, no. But they have to change their way to be, even though they can be arrogant in some places, but when people get bigger or even they go in another place with people in the same level, they will be humble. So
no.
we can see arrogance in hip hop, but this is not something that live longer. And people who used to be arrogant, we used to put them on the side.
I
Oh, that's
see.
good. I wish it
How?
could happen the
Whoa.
same in our
It's not
field.
something that we of course in hip hop you have to, even ballet, you have to be confident. You have to trust yourself
Yes,
Yes.
yes, confident,
crazy, like
absolutely.
I can do it. But
Yes, I
arrogance
agree.
is not something that we go along.
No.
It's the thing that I think with arrogance, I don't know, I have a feeling like it does come from a certain
Mm,
insecurity. And when you think you know everything, that's when the growth stops. And that's
Yes.
when also eventually the drive will stop and the inspiration and the motivation, because
mhm,
the goals are different.
yes.
I like what you said, Taz. I like that you said like the moments you think you know it all, that's when the growth stops because you stop researching, you stop learning, you stop
You stop
thinking
making
yourself.
you think you stop making mistakes, and this is the mistakes the one that make you grow and learn. Actually,
Not that, but it's also the curiosity of
yeah,
like
yeah.
always trying to find new ways and different ways of doing things. That curiosity of keep learning, which this was also one of your posts, Joe, that you say like that we're
Mm,
always students, like we always need to try to feel ourselves as students. So we always need to learn, we always need to update, we always need. And I think this is the spark that makes you build your confidence and
yes,
also make
yes.
you improve in
Because
what you're doing.
in hip hop, the music is always evolving, and when the music is evolving, the dance is evolving. So we used to go, we
Right.
used to learn with people who learn hip hop in the 90s. So the hip hop in the 90s, the music, we call it boom bap, because it is
Mm-hmm.
the boom, bap, boom, bap, boom,
All
and
right. Yes.
everything, when you do everything when after the boom bap music, people used to look at you like, are you crazy? And I had we have a dancer whose name is Mish. He's dancing since a really long time, and this guy is always updating, always going with the youth, with the teen, to learn uh, the new music, what's new. With Mish, it's always what's new, and I need to add it in my dance. And this kind of way to learn is something that I love to do too. What's new? I have to have new vocabulary. I have to have a new groove. I have to have new feelings. Me, my hip hop
Yeah.
is more in 2000. With people like Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, and everything. So
All right.
I
All
have
right.
to,
Nice.
but 2000 is 20 years ago. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
It is
we
already.
old. Yeah, I know, but I have to get new things, and it's something that is driving me. I lived with it, like to do so new step. Show me. I have to. It's something like is very very in the heart. Like show me this.
No.
Can I just to wrap it up on this topic because I feel we really touched it.
We also need to kind of find a
Wrap it
closure on the
up. Yeah,
episode
I
because we're
just
on
want
an
to. I
hour.
have a last question. I'm really interested. Talking about stay relevant, keep on learning, staying updated. That balance between Instagram culture
Mhm.
and the real scene.
Mm.
How is it for you in the hip hop
The thing
scene?
is, in hip hop, we have a lot of people who had their video buzzing in Instagram. So of course, and we see that they're working with brands, they're going in US, in Japan, you know. And the thing is, you said you watch this and you like, but I have to do the same. I have to do the same. But so, a lot of those guys who working with brands and everything, when they post the video, you can see the realness of them. You know, they were real. You know, the guy. I don't know if you saw the video of the guy who's doing the moonwalk in the street, and then people like The Rock posted the video, LeBron James, and this guy who went Salif. His name is Salif.
Yeah.
And when you see this guy doing the moonwalk, even though it's just a moonwalk, you can see the passion. You know, you can see that he's living this. You know, and why I put this on I put Instagram scene and the real scene is because people now putting things in Instagram and waiting for buzzing. You know, and
Yeah.
sometimes they don't understand that videos buzzing. You can see 90%. That's just my opinion. 90% people was feeling it, feeling it. I got another one. His name is Rubix. Rubix. He danced for Red Bull. He did a video in a Red Bull battle, and this video got 1 million like or maybe more. The way he was dancing, you can see he was dancing with his heart. Of course, when you saw someone like this, of course you're gonna like it, even though it already had a community around him. But of course you're gonna like it. So for me, we have so many fake people who's coming in hip hop in Instagram, and also people or a lot of people say, yeah, you're good, you're so good, you're so good. And when you watch the dancer, you're like, you need to learn, you need to go back training. But because they had so many comments who said that is or she was good, but she will not be in the his scene or her scene is not the real one now. It's Instagram.
I
Yeah.
think we have the same problem in ballet companies also. There's some people that see themselves on Instagram getting likes, or like people that from outside we put like and we think, oh my God, these people like really have made it. Luckily nowadays in dance, in these years, we're talking about it a lot, that dance is not about dance. It's not about the tricks. It's not about the turns. That's a tool you use to share your emotion, but it's not the final product. And then, but on the other side is sometimes, unfortunately, these people that have so many likes then get to company life and they expect to be like, I'm much better than you. I'm ready. Like, I know. So it also, again, refers and touches all the topic we touched in this episode. Like, Instagram is one thing, reality is another one. Like, yeah, it's great that people eventually liked your post on Instagram and stuff, but that doesn't mean that's it. Like, it doesn't mean that defines you as a dancer, as an artist.
No.
So it's a really fine line. Luckily, especially now in the ballet world, directors of companies are really talking about it and be like, guys, Instagram is a thing. Like, it's an application, it's a social media marketing, if you want, of things. And I think already we struggle especially in the ballet world, to differentiate what is artistically fulfilling and what is marketing fulfilling. So it's really important for us to differentiate that and talk about it, because people that might be new in the professional life has certain expectations that luckily now are spoken about it and refers as not healthy ones and good ones. So again, I think this was a fantastic episode. We touched so many topics, and also when we opened this podcast, this was our aim, to talk about things and see how actually we all can relate and how we can discuss to make things better and how to feel seen. So it was incredible to also see from your field to our field how many things put us in common and how much we can also learn from the hip hop crew, like field or like other things. It was so beautiful. Like, it was very, very inspiring. Thank you so much for agreeing.
And we finally
Thank you.
hear the voice behind the posts. I have one last question. What do you hope to reach through your teachings and through your Instagram page? What's your, do you have a little wish that you wish to accomplish?
I hope to reach the heart of people. I hope to reach the. I hope to bring awareness. To make. I had so many comments. It was like, it seems like you're talking about me.
Yes.
When I saw this type of comments, I'm like, yeah, that was the goal.
Yeah.
But not
You're
just
succeeding. You're succeeding.
thank you. But not just like, yeah, I talk about you now. It's like now that I'm talking about you, how can we do to change it? How can we do to get better? And I wish to go everywhere in the world and talking with people and dancing and I didn't know that it would be like this. Sometimes I'm surprised to a message from people like I needed this. Thank you. I'm
No.
like okay, that's kind of huge. Yeah, I hope that I can reach people's hearts and people's minds to show them that they can be better. To show them that it's not worth it to go along with the system. Just be you first. Go with your heart. Go with your emotion. Go with your feeling. Go with your mind. It's you first, and then it's gonna be the people. But it's you first. If you're not good, if you're not aware of those things, people will not get it.
Exactly, Joe. I thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. It was really great, and as Tazi said, to give a voice and to meet the person behind the Instagram page.
Thank you, thank you.
Good luck with everything. Good luck with your work, and also we wish you all the best.
Thank
And
you.
continue going like this because it's really succeeding. And I believe it is about sharing a lot. It's about sharing, and then you see through sharing, then you understand how many people are in the same situations, and it just makes you feel less alone. So you know, so thank you so much. And you find him on Instagram. On the page is called Groove with Joe Longomo. And yeah, thank you, Anastasia and Martin, I mean, and Lorenzo. It's actually Lorenzo because we have another person with us
Yeah,
usually.
usually.
Sorry.
No, it's
No,
Sorry.
but
fine.
it's all right.
Usually, it's the four of us.
Okay, okay.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, don't worry. It's all good. But most of all, thank you to Joe Longomo, and I wish you a great Sunday.
Thank you, you too,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you
Thanks.
so much. All the
Bye
best.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Kunst and All. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and now on YouTube. Make sure to follow us on @Kunst&All for more updates and behind-the-scenes content. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to reach out and share your feedback. We are Lorenzo, Nastasia, Francesco, and Martin. Thanks again for joining us. Until next time, stay kunstig.